Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Floor 26 podcast. My name is Parsa Pahlevankhah, and today I'm joined by a special guest, Leebotracks. What to do, man?
Hey, man, how's it going, man? Thank you for having me on here, Parsa.
Of course, man.
Floor 26 podcast.
I'm glad we could make it work, dude. It was a little last minute, but we had to get you in, man. I'm glad we did.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm blessed to be here, man. It's looking like a great setup in here. It's got a good microphone. I sound crispy, so we're gonna make it happen, man.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be a great one. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so yeah, I go by the name of Leebo or Leebotracks on my social media platforms. Basically, I started out as a producer that turned into a clothing brand designer, which also then later turned into an event coordinator. Now we do tours and go crazy and shit like that.
Really? So,
Yeah.
do you stay in the behind productions, or do you still pursue music yourself?
I definitely still produce and create music. I actually have a project on the way, Beyond the Storm or Beyond the Clouds, one of those two names. But I have an EP that's in the works. And yeah, music is like my main goal. My main goal beyond everything that you see me doing is to be known as a well-respected artist in the world and be looked at as one of the greatest to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll tell you what, dude. Event planning it's actually a super fun job. Getting everything and then seeing the product of your hard work, being able to get all these things together and setting it up and making sure people have a good time.
Yeah, I think that I would say so to myself. People may look at it as a very tedious thing or time-consuming thing, but honestly, once you figure out a flow that works for you, just like everything, man, it's just like flying a plane. I feel like even though I don't know how to fly a fucking plane, I would say it's just like flying a plane, man. You do it so many times, it just becomes like nature.
Hell yeah. So, how old are you?
So I just turned 25 this year, and yeah, in April.
When did you get into music?
I got into music about 4.5 years ago, and I started off just producing. Yeah.
Really, just on FL Studios?
FL Studio, yeah, I had the little demo, downloaded the demo on the crack version, you know what I'm saying? And from there, shout out Pirate Bay, you know what I'm saying? Went from Pirate Bay and then it ended up getting the official version. But yeah, it started out as just a demo, just wanted to have fun. I used to be a huge video gamer, and my brother used to always tell me yo, if you put that same amount of time into actually something productive and stop fucking around on the game, you might actually make some money and enjoy it. So I was like, man, shut the hell up. And then eventually I tried it, and then here we are, Floor 26.
Yes, sir, man. We made it.
Facts.
No, but I'll tell you what, dude. You don't realize how big of a waste of time video games are until you stop playing them.
Facts. It is. It can be like that. Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, shit, dude. I definitely don't miss all the time I wasted on video games, though.
Either. I think playing video games it shaped me a lot and allowed me to just connect with so many people across the world, and taught me honestly a lot about just grinding and just how to market shit, because I used to be in RuneScape fucking trying to sell god swords and selling dragon claws and shit for hours, just in that bitch typing. I got some typing skills off that shit, you know what I'm saying? Learning how to make videos on YouTube. So yeah, video games definitely it changed my life for the better.
Yeah. What else did you play other than RuneScape?
I was really big into Minecraft. Shout out Minecraft. I did a little bit of Call of Duty. I was pretty big into MW2, COD 4. I also was pretty huge on Guitar Hero 3. I was the nigga, I don't know, I like to play on expert level. And I think some of my favorite songs on there, definitely, man. I like the fucking song Welcome to the Jungle was pretty crazy. But there's also one by damn, I really wish I could name the song, but I don't know. Guitar Hero 3 was pretty fucking crazy. I put a lot of hours into that game.
Really?
Yeah.
The fingers jamming up and shit?
Fucking jam, bro. Jammed up. No cap.
So, back to the music. So, how did you get into it? What made you, really get into it and start, pursuing it as a passion?
I think I realized that once me and my friend, his name is Justin, but he was going by YB. You know what I'm saying? Now he goes by Lil Exxon. But we were all friends that just hung out, and I had a lot of passion for basketball and shit at the time, but it really didn't work out. I lost passion for it, and then eventually I just put that passion into the music and shit. So once I realized that basketball really wasn't for me, I found passion in the music, and then I just ended up funneling all of that energy into the music, and I just wanted to be a producer. I was just working like a job and shit, and I really was kind of like lost, honestly. And you know, after like a long summer of just, you know, fucking around on the demo, somebody brought a microphone over and we fucking just started experimenting, and then it just blossomed into like a bunch of different art shit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So you're from up north, Seattle to be exact.
Yes, I'm based up. I'm based up north, up in. I say I'm from Seattle because that's where people can connect to. But the real area that I'm from is Tri-Cities, Washington. It's like an Eastern Washington area. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of Gonzaga, but like they're pretty known for basketball
Yeah.
and shit in college. But it's like in that Eastern Washington area. But I'm originally born in Augusta, Georgia, so that's
Okay.
why I have family over here and shit, and that's why I made it a very, very like important for me to come back and reconnect with my roots over here and like help blossom the scene over here.
Yeah. I mean, how is the scene up there for like hip hop? Because you're really the first person that we've had on that's from up north and not from Atlanta, hasn't been like here the whole time.
I would say, honestly, bro, the scene is very hyperactive. I mean, I would say the biggest differences are you guys definitely have, it seems, a lot more infrastructure when it comes to like different media pages and different underground pages for pushing things, and you guys have a lot more street markets and stuff like that. But you know, it's still great energy up on the north side and the northwest. We still have a lot of artists that are very talented, a lot of clothing brands, a lot of people that are trying to get their podcast started, and a lot of streetwear brands trying to get their name out. But yeah, it's definitely in the development mode, and we're doing our best to keep everything together. But I'm doing my best to run that shit and be the leader. So over these next few years, you're going to be hearing a lot more from Washington artists, and then after this interview, I'm gonna tap you in with some artists too to watch out for from that side too.
Hell yeah, man. Because one thing, like me and Adam, like we never like when we started this, we never like expected to like really get into the music scene as much as we have. Like for like the last 4 people we've had on, 3 of them have like been artists. Like I think you'll make like 5 or 4 out of 5.
Oh, yeah.
So you know we're really starting to tap in, and I'm enjoying it. You know, being connected with the underground group and like seeing how like interconnected everyone is. Like everybody in the underground like knows each other. So that's like it's kind of like an ecosystem kind of.
Oh, it's very much like an ecosystem, and you know, everything needs each thing in it to function properly and to you know, evolve. You know what I'm saying? Just as important it is for you to connect with new artists, it's important for me to connect with new podcasts, interviewers, and you know, other media outlets, so that way I can express myself and, you know, show people more than just the music and more than just the events.
Oh yeah. So tell me a little bit more about what you've been on. We talked about Eternal a little bit before.
So I've been on, you know, you mean like on as far as like the movement, or what do you mean on
Like what you've been working on yourself.
So yeah, I've been working on just honestly helping my, you know, I got my guy Tokyo here with me. You guys may not be able to see him, but I got my DJ here, Cadillac of Tokyo from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Me and him just been trying to figure out a system to just continuously evolve this Storm Tour series of events, which is where we're going nationwide, just doing events, popping up, bringing in clothing, bringing in media, bringing in artists, going fucking crazy, mosh pits, titties, everything, going crazy. So we're evolving that, making that a lot more crispy and clean, while also, you know, trying to get, you know, the clothing brand running, trying to just get everything streamlined to where everything's just running on its own. And then also, there's a lot of things behind the scenes I can't really talk about that we're trying to do, but everything we're doing basically is funneled into just curating the scene and making things easier for people to get into it and expand, you know, and connect with other like-minded individuals. So that's just what we're on right now.
I do enjoy your approach to this though. It's a lot different compared to like every other artist I've talked to. Like you're really trying to build something rather than just build yourself.
Yeah, because I've come from an area where there wasn't any infrastructure. You know, Eastern Washington, Tri-Cities, Washington. It's like very, very, maybe bro over there can pull it up on the in an interview and like, you know, and show people like where it is, but it's in an area very far away from most cities, you know, like 3 to 4 hours away from like the nearest big airport. The nearest Popeyes is like an hour and a half away. The nearest Chick-fil-A is like 3 hours away and shit. So it's like for me to be able to perform and everything like that, I had to become that gate. So that's kind of what you have to do. And from that, I kind of developed like a working mentality. So now I'm like, I understand how important ownership is, because if you don't own your own shit, people can knock you off your shit. So you need to own your own shit so that way you can stay on your shit and be able to have your own voice and not have to rely on other people too much, you know? So I understand that. And me, a person like me, I try to, you know, I try to learn as much as I can, because people just aren't reliable these days, man.
Yeah. That reminds me of one of the best pieces of advice I've like gotten. It's one of my like older friends told me. He was like, if you want to go do something, just go ahead and do it. There's like nothing, there's nobody stopping you. There's nothing in the way. Like the only thing in your way is yourself and you not wanting to do it.
Facts. Yeah, I'm definitely a firm believer in that.
Hell yeah. I mean, you've got to be if you want to build an empire, man. That seems like what you want to do.
I want to build an empire and I want to take over the fucking world. You're right. And it comes with the mentality first, man. Just like you're saying, you know, it's, you know, you got to have the vision. And, you know, me and Tokyo, we definitely have very good skills. And I think between him and I, we could even teach an entire fucking team of people to do what we do. And, you know, in the next few years, we're going to be doing global tour runs, 50 city tour runs, you know, independent, with all packed out shows, like 500 plus people at all cities, Australia, Iceland, you know what I'm saying, UK. We're going to go everywhere. Like the United States is just the start for us, because if we can do it here, there's no reason for why we can't go do it over there. And we want to touch every fucking country. We're not going to stop until we touch every country.
Shit, man, that might be a little hard, man, when you get to Iraq and...
whoa. Oh, shit, I was... All right, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Some Taliban mosh pits.
Hey, we might have to go over there, man, strapped up. Might have to get the little army vest on, you know what I'm saying? A little vest.
Dude, that's awesome. Last night, we had a Halloween party, and I'm Middle Eastern. I'm from Iran, so... you know those Saudi head things they wear, dude?
They like called
it's not a turban. It's like,
is it the H word?
Something like that. It's like a little ring, and then it's like a scarf under it.
Okay,
you've definitely seen.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I was repping it. I was like, yeah, I'm young Usama.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Shit, you got to take pride in that too, man. That's the culture, bro, and that's, you know, that's why didn't we get the invite to the party though?
Hey, man.
Oh,
dude,
what's going on here?
Dude, hey, let's not make this personal, man. Hey, next time we'll set up a stage and you can perform.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to it, man. We're gonna do it. We're gonna hold you to that next time we out here. Bet.
Hell yeah.
Let's rock.
So, how did you? Is this the first tour you've set up?
This is the second tour this year I've set up, but this is my first year on a national tour.
Okay. So, tell me a little bit about the process of starting the first one, what led you to do it, and just go from there.
So the first one came about because we were like, fuck, okay, we're doing a lot of events in the West, and we realized, okay, we can keep doing this. We're going to keep getting lit. People are going to keep coming out like, yeah, we're dope. But it's like, didn't really see the growth we wanted from like the world. And like, yes, you can rely on TikTok and all of these online platforms to do it for you. But as an artist, I feel like it's really important to get out there in your career, especially in your early career, so that way you have all that energy and that fire behind you to just get out there and see new people and make actual connections. So after the coronavirus hit, it shut us down completely in Washington. And then I started doing a lot more events in the Miami area, in the Florida area, where they don't give a fuck. Because Florida is like pretty cool about that shit.
Dude, the South did not give a shit.
Yeah, they didn't give a fuck. Y'all, hey, we was locked down, couldn't go outside the crib without a mask. Meanwhile, everybody in Miami is just outside, standing on top of the cars, girls twerking, dudes flashing poles. But yeah, we started doing shows out there, and then eventually we're like, okay, we can do it in Miami. Okay, let's set up a tour. Boom. Then we started up a tour, and that was back in April. So I actually was in Atlanta, I think last April. And then that tour we took about 2 to 3 months to set up. Just preparing. Not preparing, but preparing. But just getting the venue secured, having the DJ that's reliable, trustworthy, having other people within the team that you can rely on to help send out tickets and stuff like that. But that took us about 2 to 3 months to set up. This time, after we did a few shows in between the last tour, which ended in May, we were still doing shows that we were setting up and still getting booked for our own shows. Like I said, I got Tokyo here with me. He does a lot of shows with a lot of different other promoters, and I do a lot of shows with a lot of different other promoters. And he was doing shows with NLE Choppa, The Baby, Riff Raff. And the first tour took us 3 months to set up, and then this tour took us a month and a half to set up.
Okay, so progress is definitely being made.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's only gonna get easier from there because once like I'm an event coordinator myself, and it's nerve-wracking shit, dude. Until like the event's over, like I'm always pacing around. Like it's not a fun time. I haven't had any fun at any of my events. If I'm being honest with you, dude, because it's always like, for me, it's always the self-improvement mentality, like what could I have done better? What should I have done? This and that. But so that's why I personally, because I always feel like there's always room for improvement for myself. So,
well, there's always gonna be room for improvement, but there's always gonna be room for improvement. But the good thing is you're attempting something. And, like Tokyo said, the reason why you're nervous or wherever you're pacing around before is because you're doing something that you're new to, or, you're not comfortable with. You haven't got that much experience. But if you keep going, eventually you will figure out a comfort level inside of the chaos, and, and you will enjoy it eventually, hopefully. But we definitely need more event coordinators out there because, there's not that many of us, especially for the underground scene. So hopefully you stick with it. We would like to work with you in the future too, to get something going.
Oh yeah, man.
Cool.
I was thinking about dropping out of school and being a promoter. Maybe move down to Miami, man.
Man, the Middle Eastern guy promoter in Miami. That's crazy.
Hey, I haven't heard that one before.
Man, that's different. Hey, it is what it is. It's new days. It's new days.
So, speaking of venues, what type of venues do you guys hit up? Is there like strict like music halls, like stuff like that?
So it varies depending on like the city, but we shoot to get the best venue we can. Obviously to just showcase everything while retaining our freedom as ticket sellers and using our space for whatever the fuck we want to use it for. A lot of venues you get in there, they're like, well, we want to sell your tickets. You have to sell them on our website, and we want a ticket fee for every ticket, and we want a ticket fee at the door, and you can't set up vendors. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when we come into those type of spaces, we're like, nah. So we try to aim for venues that are a lot more like creative spaces, warehouses, studios that are just like more catered to people that are just trying to just put shit together. But it takes a little bit more effort. But if you figure it out, you figure it out.
Yeah. Rather than them being up your ass, like it's better to have that leeway to like really set up your own event.
Set up your own event and have less stress.
Yeah.
The stress is the biggest thing. If you're going to be doing this a long term, Tokyo knows this. My DJ right here on the left of me, Cadillac of Tokyo. What you'll realize is, if you're going to do something for a long period of time, you have to figure out a way to do it with as least stress as possible, so that way you can work as efficiently, maintain your mental health, and not feel like you're always like just tripping.
So, I'm sure you have a big team. Is it just you in Tokyo, or you guys got a couple more guys in the background helping y'all out?
Honestly, in reality, we do have like one or two, maybe three guys in the back helping us out in the back. But reality in the reality world, like not the reality world, but to be real, is really just like 3 to 4 people, but mainly just Tokyo and I when it comes to being like out on the road. It's just us two, and then like if we hire a few people at the venue, security, and maybe some sound coordinators and people like that at the show. But booking artists, booking venues, 80 to like 85% of that work is between us two.
Oh yeah, I mean as long as you have your solid pieces that can really push and lead forward, That's really all you need. I always like to have a couple other guys that like I can like give specific tasks to, so I won't have to worry about it. So like for example, like if I don't want to like worry about decorations, like I'll put a guy on that, so that way like I don't have to worry about such a small thing. And in my opinion, people enjoy that. People enjoy having like a leadership role, and like it motivates them to also work
Mm-hmm.
and do better and do their best.
Yes, I totally agree, and that's smart that you figured that out because I've slowly incorporated that too. In cities where I have those connections of like just knowing people that are just down to help, you know. But yes, having someone to just do those small things, man, is so key. But in the West Coast, we definitely have a lot more resources, so we do have people like that. But on the road, it can get tough. But I'm sure over time, you know, we will definitely get that stuff going, and then you know, like I said, we'll put something together, and we'll have a huge team to just make something beautiful happen, man.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So, do you stay on the West Coast right now?
Yes, I am based on the West Coast, but you know, I'm always down to come and move around, man. I don't got no kids. You know, I don't have any rings on my hand, you know what I'm saying? Anything that I'm like seriously like responsible for right now, so I'm able to move around freely.
Yeah. The only thing that you're bound to is the game.
The game, man. Top G, I'm just kidding.
So, so you guys do everything. For example, artists. You like target artists in that city that you guys are going to, and you guys have those guys come out, or do you bring artists with you?
So we always usually have at least one or two artists that we try to bring from the West, but mainly we target the artists that are already in the community because it's more of like Leebo's coming into town, I'm headlining, so I am the one putting it together, but it's like I got my infrastructure from events that I was performing on back in the day, like when I was opening up for Migos, when I was opening up for Lil Yachty, when I opened up for Famous Dex, when I opened up for Blueface. I am the Blueface. I am the Migos. I am the Lil Yachty. And then I am also finding the openers to open up for me and do what I need to do. So yeah, you have to understand resources. You have to understand how to, you know, network, be an entrepreneur, and also provide value to these artists so they don't feel like they're just gonna come in to nothing. So
Wow. So you really started like in the music industry like about 4 or 5 years ago. How did you end up opening for these guys?
money. You
Money.
know what I'm saying? So basically, if you want to perform for Amigos or a Lil Yachty or a Trippie Redd, you know, you have to know the promoter. You know, obviously money can't get you into every opportunity, but the way I got those opportunities was a person offered it to me. They promised me a certain amount of time or whatever, and I paid the price that it was, and you know, that's how you do it. And then you know, hopefully the promoter isn't sketchy and doesn't cut your set short or, you know, scam
Screw
you.
you over.
Exactly, which can happen. So it's, you know, you have to understand who you're working with and, you know, go from there, maybe get some things in writing. But yeah, that's how I got into it. And then I did that a few times. And then I kind of just developed myself as an artist, got better music out there, got some credible sources out there, Lyrical Lemonade, Elevator, Daily Chiefers. Like, you know, people know me as the event coordinator, but also at the same time, I don't really talk about my credentials as an artist, but it's like most of the time I am still the most credible artist in the room when it comes to the sources that are showcasing me and the actual resources that I have. Is like, I have been on Lyrical Lemonade. I have been on Elevator. I have been on Daily Chiefers. I have been on my articles in my area for the news and stuff. So realistically, it's like I am that guy. You feel me? So
No, for
that's how
sure.
it is.
I mean, it's great for somebody that's done that, been there, for you to like, I don't know, I guess take a step away from what you started out in, and you know really expand out and start coordinating these events for the underground artists in those cities and giving them an opportunity like you were given, and
Yeah.
helping them grow.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. And then I got Tokyo here with me too. He's just as credible and he's just as skilled. And your guys are gonna be hearing a lot more from him. And I'm trying to help him develop and be more, you know, out there with his services. Because I'm telling you, man, our team is very skilled, man. So, and I'm teaching him everything I can. He's teaching me everything that he can. So, we're just gonna have a crazy army here soon. Like, we're gonna just have a bunch of skilled motherfuckers. Like, everybody on our team just straight SWAT, like everybody just elite. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have an elite team, and we're gonna grow it one by one, and keep doing these events, and then eventually, have a team of people like you guys on each coast that want to be media for our network, and we'll have special artists that want to come and do stuff with you guys.
Oh yeah, man. That's all. That's what we're all about, dude.
Yes,
I love, like, I was talking to Adam about this a week ago, like last week. I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying like the little community that like we're starting to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like every episode we drop, like 10 of like the guys' friends like hit us up, and like they're trying to get on, and like, for example, you like we're like, oh, like once you said you're leaving for Miami, I was like, all right, Adam, we gotta move
Thank
some
you
stuff
guys,
around, man.
Shout out Floor 26 podcast, man. Okay.
Sir. So back to the tour.
Okay.
So what cities are you guys going to now, and how were the cities before? And like, have you guys done Atlanta yet?
Yeah, we just did Atlanta this weekend that just passed, bro, and it was actually pretty crazy, man. We had shout out all the local artists that came out, the vendors, and I just want to make some special shout outs to also my DJ here, man. Things were going crazy for the show, but it ended up turning out really well for the artists involved, and that's all we want to do is make sure everyone involved just has a great experience. But I don't know if you guys know the event series Thank You for Dying. You guys ever heard of them?
No.
Okay, well, they're an Atlanta event series you guys should look into. And shout out New Underground Atlanta. You guys know them, Underground.
Isn't that a page?
Yep.
So
shout out to them, but they helped us get some more network exposure for our show that we just did on the 22nd out here. But Thank You for Dying is a event series that's hosted by Back from the Dead. He's an artist out here. He's doing this thing. He's kind of like the me of this area. And you guys should definitely tap into him. We had J-Bands come through. You guys just did an interview with him. He's how I found you guys. So he performed on there as well. And then we also had Camille, Baby Chulo, a very skilled dancer from this area. D So Smooth. He came out and was just dancing on stage, going crazy. Had my guy Kai Harris, man. Kai Harris is such a cool guy. You guys should definitely tap in with him. He's out here in this area, man. Came out, confetti cannons, going crazy, jumping into the crowd. It's Rich came through. He's another artist from out in this area, man. He came out and went ham as well. But I may have left some people out, but everybody on that lineup was insane. So if you guys go to Eternal Records, you guys can go through the recent photos or recent tagged photos, and you'll see some people in there. But up next we have Miami, we have Salt Lake City, we have Seattle, we have Tri-Cities, Washington, which is like in the eastern part where I'm based. And then I just added another date to the tour. This is my first time talking about it, actually. But on December 17th, Tokyo and I put together a show for Portland. It's going to be December 17th, in Portland, Oregon. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
5 more shows.
Damn. So how many did you guys do before this?
Before this, we did, I think, 4 or 5 shows. We did Houston. We did L.A. We did Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then, we did Atlanta. So, we did 4 shows. Did I leave anything out? Yeah. We did like 4 or 5 shows. But, mainly like we came down the west, went through the mid-south, and then went up to the north, whatever the fuck, north, midwest. And then, we hit Jersey City, New Jersey. We hit New York. That was dope. Yeah, we hit New Jersey, man. That was fire. It was a good time.
Which one's your favorite so far?
Oh, man, I would definitely say everything is like special for its own reason, but definitely Atlanta, because Atlanta was so crazy. People were mosh pitting, jumping in the crowd, like it was nuts. And then also we had Houston was so fire because we had the most beautiful venue in the world, man. Projections against we had 3-dimensional, it was 3 projections on the wall. We had projection there, 2 projections on the side, beautiful stage. Shout out to what's the name of that venue, man? Damn. I don't know the name of that venue in Houston, but that was one of my favorite because of the space. It was so beautiful in there, high ceilings, man. It was just, you can't help but admire that space, man. Then they had the sponsor, they had the drink sponsors, so we was all turned.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be back there next year for sure.
Hope so, man. We heard some news about that venue that they may not make it, but
really?
They may not make it, unfortunately.
Shit.
But
that
shout out
sucks.
Russ, man. Shout out Russ Reinhardt. He actually works for a lot of big venues out there in Houston, like shit. Like I think it was the Knitting Factory or I don't know what it is, but he also works for Live Nation, so he's very good connect and shit. That shout out Russ Reinhardt, very good connect to have in the industry.
Yeah, a couple episodes ago, we had Starlight on, also a friend of Jay Van's. I'm not sure if you've heard of
I
him.
think I may have seen him. I think he had him on stage with him. I wouldn't know him if I seen him, but off name, not too
Yeah,
familiar.
I'm because he's in New York right now, so I'm not sure if he was like
Hmm.
he was there for it or not. But one thing we talked about is like an underground artist like starting to come up. Like it's crowd engagement, being
Mm-hmm.
able to tap in with the crowd, doing because they're there to enjoy a show.
Yeah.
And if you're not giving them one, then what's the point?
Facts.
How can you expect to have a good show if you're not putting on?
That's true. Yeah, you gotta definitely stay engaged with the crowd. And the crazy thing is I tell people that I work with, I tell people like sometimes you definitely want to perform and go crazy on stage, but sometimes the best thing to do for the audience is actually just talk to them and let them know who you are as a person and where you come from and all of that stuff, because music is important, but nothing's more important than actually connecting with the crowd and talking to them and like letting them know why you wrote the song. So instead of trying to max out the time and do 4 songs, maybe do 2 songs, but tell them why you made those 2 songs and how those 2 songs will help them or how that song helped you, and really just try to rock with them. And just good crowd participation will be a lot more memorable than trying to max out your songs.
Yeah. Speaking of songs, I gotta tell you what my favorite of yours is.
Oh, shit.
It's definitely On My Own.
On My Own.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like that song, man. That was a song I produced and engineered and all that. And that song was when you're doing this, when you're out here, man, I just felt like I really just want to be known, but I also don't want to sell all my masters or have to sell myself to anybody to have to get there. So just by being patient, doing on your own, staying down, staying grind, stay on your grind, and then make it happen.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So tell me a little bit about your project coming up. You say you got an EP.
Yeah, I do got an EP on the way. That project's gonna be 6 to 8 tracks. You guys will see soon. Gonna release the little cover here pretty soon. It's getting closer to it, so I'm down to talk more about it. But it's gonna be 6 to 8 tracks. I'm gonna show off some of my skills on the hard side, like some crazy rage shit, and then I'm also gonna showcase my more melodic side and just more vibes and grooving and shit like that. So yeah. Oh yeah, and he also just pulled up the venue. It's called the Free Gallon venue, that one venue in Houston that I was talking about. So hopefully they're still fucking in business by next year. But Free Gallon, fire. But yeah, the project it's going to be 6 to 8 tracks, some hard songs, some melodic songs, all mixed, arranged, written by me.
Hell yeah. Self everything.
Yeah, man. I know everyone's kind of doing that. Oh, I produce everything, I mix everything, I write everything. But realistically, it's like I feel like the way I'm mixing it and I'm writing it is very, very it's at a level to where, for the most part, these songs could be played on radio. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some songs may need to be turned up a little more on the volume side, but other than that, I feel like the production for sure is definitely able to be on the radio and be able to be played in most clubs, depending on the club. And I feel like the context is definitely like not too crazy to the point where it's like, damn, I can't play this around my family. Like the music I make, I feel like it's very universal.
Yeah. So when was the last time you did drop?
The last time I dropped's been about a year, man. So I haven't really been focusing on the music, unfortunately, this year. But I have created new songs this year. Just been kind of like
Just taking it slow
with the music production, but focusing on the overall culture and the movement. Because right now, we're still like post COVID, like real early. So I knew I had to attack the industry hard. Now that I got the ears, media, podcast, shout out Floor 26 podcast, and other promoters in the city and listening now it's time to get back on it.
Yeah. Get this show on the road.
Yes, sir.
Like come out the gates,
man, rolling through.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What else you got for me, man?
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys for having me on here. Shout out to my DJ, the graphic designer, and many more other things, friend, Cadillac of Tokyo. You're going to hear a lot from us here in the next year, in the next few months. We're doing our best to tap into the scene. hopefully we'll have Floor 26 with us at the next show, and
we don't gotta end it here, man. We got time. Shit.
Okay, well, shit. Hey,
yeah, dude.
dang.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay,
tell me a little bit more about yourself, man. This is about you. Shit, we can go on for 2 hours until my camera dies. That's the first one that dies.
We can go on for like another 5 minutes, but basically, man, I think that I feel like right now as a unit, as a movement of the underground, it's really a critical time that everyone comes together and really plays their role. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is you do, play that role. Don't make anyone's life harder than what it already is. Like, if you're an artist, please don't be that weird dude to send your music in the day of the show or an hour before the show. Like, everyone needs to just be a lot more catering to each other and like understanding, so that way we work better as a scene. Because it's not like we're all like, I don't know, everyone, I mean, you don't know that person, but it's like we're all people, and we need to do our best to make sure everyone feels like they give a fuck. Like, yes, you can be an artist and give a fuck about the DJ, and then be an artist on stage and not give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But being a person that cares about the people that are in the scene is different than how you have to portray yourself to the media. You can be a Cardi type dude and be, I don't give a fuck about shit, man. I'm gonna just be quiet. But yeah, be that to the media, be that to the internet. But when it comes to behind the scenes, when it comes to networking, when it comes to sending your fucking music in, when it comes to getting business taken care of, be more professional. Because the industry don't got time for that shit. Don't got time for that shit. Get your shit done, send your music in, be professional, show up on time, and then there won't be problems. Because it's a very small world. If you fuck up your connections, everyone's gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's gonna know what you did. The word's gonna spread around. It's a very small community, but it is big, but it's very small at the same time.
You heard it here, man. It's been Parsa P.
Yes,
my
sir.
boy Leebo.
Gang,
Shout out Tokyo.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate y'all hopping on this week. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.